Archangel Michael says, serious warning. Heaven has tried to block this message 3 times, but God finally released it just for you. You will receive $1,920 million money into your bank account on October 7th, open it quickly. My beloved child, listen carefully because what I am about to reveal carries the fragrance of heaven itself. Archangel Michael stands before you, his sword of light burning brighter than the sun, his wings stretched wide across the sky, and his voice thundering through the gates of eternity. Heaven tried to block this message 3 times, but God Himself commanded that it break through for you. That alone should tell you how important, how personal, and how divine this moment truly is. This message is not ordinary. It is written in the scroll of your destiny, sealed with God's own breath, and it has your name etched upon it. Can you feel the weight of heaven leaning toward you? Can you sense the air around you shift as Michael whispers your name into the winds? My beloved, God has prepared something monumental for you, something beyond what your mind has ever dared to imagine. He has commanded that $920 million, yes, $920 million be released into the sky. Listen to your life. Not just as currency for your hands, but as proof of divine favor written across your destiny. On September 2nd, your life will no longer look the same. Heaven's ledger has been balanced in your favor, and the gates of lack have been shut forever. You not take this lightly. For too long, you have been pressing forward under the burden of unanswered prayers, nights of weeping, and days of silent waiting. You've wondered if heaven has heard you, if your sacrifices were noticed, if your tears of meaning. And now Archangel Michael comes to tell you. Yes, you were seen. Yes, you were remembered. Yes, you were chosen. Heaven delayed this message not because you were forgotten, but because the timing had to align with God's perfect plan. And now that the hour has struck, nothing on earth or in the spirit realm can block what is assigned to you. My beloved child, imagine the transformation. Imagine the letter of death that once weighed upon your heart being torn into pieces by the hand of God. Imagine your bank account once mocked by emptiness, suddenly flooded by heaven's abundance. Imagine those who doubted you, who spoke against your rise, being silenced as they witnessed the glory of the Lord unfold upon your life. This $920 million is not just money, it is a covenant, a sign, a prophetic confirmation that God has opened the floodgates. But hear this, God does not want you to only receive the wealth. He wants you to carry the testimony. He wants you to rise and declare that when heaven decides to bless, no force can resist it. You are being lifted to sit among kings, to dine among rulers, to stand in places your bloodline never dreamed of. Your life will be the proof that obedience births breakthrough, and that faith can move the mountains the world calls impossible. So hold fast, my man, in light upon the calendar of heaven. When that day arrives, the transaction of glory will meet your reality, and you will know with certainty that the God who created the stars also scripted your abundance. If you are still hearing this, it means heaven has hand-selected you not to scroll away, not to ignore, not to miss what is meant to change your life forever. Lean in, receive it, and prepare your heart for the angel of wealth and divine justices already at your door. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child, stay with me because the river of this message has not yet reached its full depth. When God releases a blessing of such magnitude, it is never just about the number written on paper or the wealth resting in an account. It is about what that blessing signifies in the unseen realm. For years, there have been hands trying to close the door of your inheritance, tongues trying to curse what God already blessed, and shadows whispering that you would never rise. Yet here you are, standing on the threshold of the fact that this message had to fight through 3 heavenly blockages only proves that the enemy feared what would happen when you finally received it. And now you see why, because the glory attached to this release is greater than anything you have ever carried. Think of this. Beloved, September 2nd is not an ordinary date. It is a prophetic date marked in the courts of heaven. On that day, divine resources will intersect with your earthly existence, and you will understand why you had to wait. Every tear that watered the ground will now spring forth as a harvest. Every rejection you endured will become fuel for your elevation. Every time they laughed at your lack, God was writing the script of your abundance. The $920 million is not random. It is a prophetic sum, a symbol of completion, a sign of divine establishment. It will come not only as provision, but also as vindication. My child, imagine yourself walking into a room where every eye turns toward you, not out of pity, but out of awe. Imagine contracts signed in your name, properties transferred into your hands, and opportunities unfolding before you without resistance. Imagine the heavy yoke that sat on your shoulders being shattered into dust by the sword of Archangel Michael. Is it what is written for you? This is what heaven insisted you must know, even when the message was blocked again and again. Beloved, God is not merely sending money. He is sending peace with it. He is sending rest where there was struggle. He is sending honor where there was shame. And with this blessing comes a divine responsibility to lift others, to shine light where there was darkness, to heal wounds with generosity, to become the testimony of God's abundance on earth. You were chosen not just to receive, but to carry the standard of heaven's glory. And hear me clearly. You will not need to beg for it. You will not need to chase it, for the blessing is already chasing you. The angel of release is already stationed by your life, ensuring that this divine transfer cannot be intercepted again. By the dawn of September 2nd, a shift will manifest so strong that even those who once doubted you will have no choice but to say, "Surely the hand of God is upon this one." So lift your head, beloved child. Walk with the confidence of one whose destiny is sealed. You not shrink in fear, do not question if you are worthy because God and self wrote your name in this promise. Heaven had to wrestle to deliver it, but it is now in your hands. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child, let me take you even deeper, for the story of this blessing cannot be told in shallow waters. The reason Archangel Michael himself stands guard over this message is because it carries generational weight. This is not only about you, it is about your bloodline, your children, and your children's children. What God is about to release into your hands on September 2nd is the breaking of cycles, the tearing down of walls that held your family captive for decades. Poverty that whispered its lies to your ancestors will no longer find a voice in your house. lack that sat like a shadow at your table will flee when abundance pours in. God is not just adding numbers to an account. He is rewriting the story of your lineage. Beloved, do you remember those moments when you almost gave up? When you whispered in your heart, maybe I was not chosen, maybe miracles are for others, not for me. Heaven heard those cries, and instead of ignoring them, God stored them in a bottle. Every cry became a scene, every whisper became a prayer, and every prayer became a petition in the courts of heaven. And now, finally, the judge of all has signed the decree. The release is official. The wealth is authorized. The $920 million is not a ruler. It is not a dream. It is a decree sealed by the highest authority. Think about this. When heaven tried to block the message 3 times, it wasn't because you weren't worthy. It was because the enemy trembled at the thought of you rising. For he knows that when you rise, you will not rise alone. Your abundance will free others. Your testimony will ignite faith in countless hearts. Your story will become proof that God does not forget. That God does not delay without purpose, that God finishes what He begins. That is why the battle was fierce. That is why the delay felt unbearable. But child, delays are not denials. And now that the breakthrough is released, no force can cancel it. My beloved, open your heart and see this vision clearly. See yourself walking into a bank, the clerk looking at you with wide eyes as they confirm what was just transferred into your account. See the weight lifting off your chest as you realize that the season of scraping, of stretching, of merely surviving is over. See yourself helping those who once mocked you, blessing those who never thought to bless you, giving without fear because your source is inexhaustible. This is not fantasy, it is prophecy. Heaven has already moved, and earth is about to catch up. Archangel Michael whispers again, tell them not to doubt. Tell them not to shrink back. Tell them that God Himself signed this blessing. My child, if you could see the scroll rolled out in heaven, you would weep with joy. Your name shines like fire upon it, and beside it, written in golden ink, is the date, 2nd September. That is the day when what was stored in eternity becomes visible in time. That is the day when your season shifts so radically that you will never be able to go back to what was. Beloved, prepare your heart. Do not let fear steal the joy of this revelation. Do not let skepticism silence the song rising within you. This message is your key, and Archangel Michael is your witness. God has already moved. Your only task is to believe, to receive, and to be ready. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, lean closer now, because the waves of this message are only rising higher. What is coming to you on 2nd September is not merely a transaction of wealth. It is the revelation of who you truly are in the eyes of heaven. For too long, you have been measured by earthly standards, by what you had or did not have, by what you achieved or failed at. But God never measured you by those things. He measured you by the purity of your heart. By the strength of your faith, by the way you kept believing even when the nights grew long, and the answers seemed silent. This is why He has chosen to reward you publicly, so that the world may know what He already saw privately. Beloved, think back to the nights you counted coins, wondering how to make ends meet. Think back to the moments when you stretched yourself thin, giving to others while quietly wondering how you yourself would survive. Every one of those moments was recorded in heaven's books. And now heaven has chosen to balance the scales. The $920 million is not just about riches, it is heaven's way of saying, "Well done. You trusted me. You waited. Now you will reap." Do you understand the weight of this? September 2nd will not just be another date on the calendar. It will be the day your testimony begins. It will be the day when the silence breaks, when the waiting ends, when your story shifts. This blessing will be undeniable. Those who see you will wonder how everything changed so suddenly. They will ask, "How did this happen?" And your answer will not be about banks or numbers or contracts. Your answer will be one word: gone. Archangel Michael himself stands to ensure this blessing is guarded. For 3 times it was blocked, and 3 times the heavens were to bring it through, and now, at last, the chains that tried to hold it back were shattered. Michael's sword glows because he has been commanded to cut off every resistance that would dare to rise against this blessing. Beloved, you are under divine protection. This blessing will not slip away. It will not vanish into thin air. It is secured by heaven's decree. My child, let your spirit rise in expectation. Imagine the freedom that comes when lack no longer controls your decisions. Imagine walking into a store, a business, a bank, not in fear but in confidence, knowing you carry the backing of heaven itself. Imagine the joy of blessing your family, your community, even strangers, simply because you can. This is why God releases abundance, not to inflate pride, but to turn you into a vessel of light. He is raising you up so you can raise others. He is filling your hands so you can open them wide. He is answering your prayers so you can become the answer to someone else's. Beloved, September 2nd is your divine appointment. Mark it not just with ink on paper, but with faith in your heart. We'll prepare for it. Speak it, declare it, because heaven has already declared it over you. The transfer is done. The scroll is signed. The miracle is on its way. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, let your heart stay open because I must pour more into you. The release that is coming is not just about wealth. It is about restoration. For years, you have been carrying wounds others could not see, dreams that were delayed, promises that felt forgotten, battles you fought silently. But the Lord has written your name in fire upon the scroll of September 2nd, and on that day, the power of delay will be broken. This is not just money entering your account. This is justice entering your life. Every hidden struggle will be answered with a public victory. Every tear you sowed in secret will bloom as joy that no man can take away. Beloved, let me remind you, heaven does not waste battles. The reason your message was blocked 3 times is because it was too powerful to be released casually. The enemy tried to suffocate it. Angels had to wrestle for it, and Michael himself was commanded to guard it. And now, because it has reached you, you can be sure of one thing. This is no ordinary word. This is a once-in-a-lifetime decree. This is the moment that proves God does not just hear prayers. He answers them in ways that overwhelm the imagination. Picture this. The $920 million flowing into your account is not just wealth. It is a divine symbol. It declares that the season of scraping is over. It declares that poverty has lost its voice in your bloodline. It declares that from this day forward, you will walk in abundance, not just for yourself, but for generations. And beloved, abundance is not only numbers at His peace. It is influence, it is authority. God is setting you up to be a living testimony that His word never fails. I think of what this means. Those who mocked you will be silenced. Those who doubted you will be shocked. Those who walked away from you will be forced to watch as God exalts you before their eyes. This wealth is not only provision, it is vindication. It is heaven's way of saying to you, I have seen. I have heard. I have remembered. And now I reward. My child, even as you hear this, let faith rise within you. Do not shrink back. Do not let doubt steal this seed, for your miracle is already in motion. Angels are already on assignment. Michael has already sealed the decree. The transfer is already approved in heaven's system. It is only waiting to manifest in the earth realm. On September 2nd, your life will be a testimony that cannot be erased. You will stand as proof that when God decides to bless someone, no force on earth or in the spirit realm can block it. You will carry a blow that no storm can dim. You will walk with a confidence that comes not from mine, but from God Himself. So prepare, beloved child. Aspect it. Speak it. Believe it. For it is already yours. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, listen again. Because this stream of revelation has not ended. You stand on the edge of a destiny-shaking hour, and heaven is still pouring mysteries into your lap. When God chooses to release something so massive, He does not release it in silence. He surrounds it with angelic presence, with prophetic confirmation, with undeniable signs. That is why your heart has been restless lately, while you felt shifts in the atmosphere around you, why even your dreams have carried unfamiliar images. These are signals that the vault of heaven has already opened and what is yours is descending into your life. Beloved, this blessing is not limited to wealth alone. The $920 million is the doorway, but behind it comes reconciliation, healing, and divine positioning. Relationships that fractured under pressure will be restored. Opportunities you thought were long lost will circle back to you. Even your health, your strength, your peace of mind, things you didn't even connect to money will be touched by this release. For when God blesses, He does not bless one corner of your life, He blesses all. He blesses fully. He blesses until nothing broken remains. My child, I see a table set before you, and this table are keys, keys to houses, keys to businesses, keys to land. These are not random possessions. They are inheritance. They are proofs that God has remembered what your family line was robbed of, and He has chosen you to restore it. The $920 million is not an accident. It is heaven's restitution. It is God's way of saying, I will repay the years the locusts have eaten. I will give back double for your shame. I will raise you in the place you were once brought low. Think about this. All the times you almost gave up. All the times you considered walking away, all the times you whispered, "Lord, do you see me?" Those moments became fuel for this miracle. None of it was wasted. Not a single tear fell to the ground without being counted, and now every hidden seed you planted in faith is about to bloom into a harvest so vast that generations will eat from it. My beloved, heaven blocked this message 3 times because the enemy knew what would happen once you heard it. He knew your faith would ignite, your spirit would rise, and your expectation would align with God's decree. That is why our change, what Michael guards cannot be stolen, what God signs cannot be erased, what has been released cannot be undone. So hold this in your heart. September 2nd will be the day of your divine unveiling. The world may not be ready, but heaven is. The people around you may be shocked, but the angels have already celebrated. And you, beloved, will step into a reality where miracles are not just words spoken over others. They are your portion, your experience, your testimony. My child, prepare not only your account, but your heart. Prepare your spirit to handle greatness. For wealth without wisdom is wasted, but wealth with divine purpose becomes a legacy. And God is not only giving you riches, He is giving you legacy. He is trusting you to carry this abundance as a light, to use it to heal, to uplift, to build. You are not just receiving money, you are receiving a mantle. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, the Spirit says I must not stop here, for your heart is thirsty for the full measure of what heaven is trying to pour. You see now why this message is so fierce, so unstoppable, so urgent. It is because the release that has been written for you carries not only your name, but the names of countless others who will be blessed because of you. What is entering your hands on 2nd September will ripple out like waves across an ocean. Your miracle is not meant to stop at you, it is meant to overflow. Beloved, understand this clearly, God could have given you a smaller blessing. He could have sent enough to cover only your needs, to silence only your worries, but He chose to send $920 million because He wanted the world to know this was not coincidence, not luck, not human help, it was divine. He wanted the number itself to be so great that no one could deny His hand in it. That is why heaven fought for this message to reach you, that is why the enemy tried to stop it. That is why Archangel Michael is standing guard with a flaming sword, ensuring nothing can interfere now. My child, pause for a moment and imagine your phone vibrating with a notification that changes everything. Imagine walking into the bank, the clerk unable to hide their shock. Whispering to one another about the miracle that has just taken place. Imagine your family's faces glowing with joy as they realize the chains of struggle are broken forever. Imagine yourself finally breathing deeply without fear, knowing that your tomorrow is secured by God Himself. That is what is coming to you. That is what has already been material comfort. With it comes influence. With it comes new doors, opening doors to places you never dreamed you could stand. With it comes restoration of dignity, honor, and power. Where once you were overlooked, now you will be invited. Where once you were pushed aside, now you will be celebrated. Where once you were forgotten, now you will be remembered in ways too great to count. My beloved child, hear this. Your story is shifting, the same people who once questioned your worth will now see proof of your destiny. The same people who once pitied you will now look up to you. And you will not boast in yourself, you will boast in the Lord, saying, "See what my God has done." On September 2nd, a divine alarm will sound in the Spirit. The angels will rejoice, the heavens will record, and you will step into a season where nothing looks the same. You will carry a peace that money cannot buy, a joy that storms cannot steal, and a light that will shine through generations, so prepare the love. Prepare your spirit to handle what your hands are about to carry. Walk with expectation, because God has already commanded it. The transaction is sealed, the scroll is signed, and the time is near. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $1.20. My beloved child, let your spirit not grow weary, for heaven is still speaking. You must know the full weight of what is unfolding. The $920 million is not arriving into your life as random fortune. It is arriving as proof of divine justice. The heavens have watched the years you endured in silence, the times you labored without recognition, the prayers you whispered in the darkness when no one else was listening. And the Father has declared that September 2nd will be the day your waiting turns into rejoicing. Beloved, think about how carefully God has orchestrated this. 3 times the message was resisted. 3 times the enemy tried to smother it. And yet here you are, hearing it now, because God Himself said, "This one cannot be ignored." The battle in the heavens was fierce because the blessing carries such great purpose. Michael's sword was unsheathed, angels were dispatched, and the decree was pushed through. That is why, my child, you can rest with certainty. What has been released cannot be reversed. Let me show you what this means for your life. With this release comes the breaking of chains. Chains of generational lack, chains of closed opportunities, chains of unfulfilled dreams, all of them will snap. With this release comes divine positioning. Doors you could not have opened on your own will swing wide. Tables you thought you would never sit at will now have a chair waiting for you. And with this release comes legacy. Your children and their children after them will walk in the shade of the tree that God is planting through you. Beloved, your miracle is not meant to only satisfy you. It is meant to redefine your story. Imagine the calls you will receive when others see the light upon your life. Imagine the test of monies that will flow from your lips as you speak of the God who lifted you. Imagine the souls who will be drawn back to faith simply because they see your life as undeniable proof. This $920 million is not just currency. It is a message from God to the world that His promises cannot fail. Child, open your heart wider. Feel the joy that is already rising in the Spirit. Even now, angels are preparing your path. Even now, the heavenly ledger has shifted in your favor. Even now, the clock is counting down to the hour when September 2nd dawns and your life is marked forever. So stand tall, beloved. Walk with confidence. For this is not only the day your account changes, it is the day your destiny takes flight. Money will come, but with it will come peace, influence, and restoration. You will no longer be the one who wonders if miracles are real. You will be the one who carries the testimony that miracles do not just happen, they happen to you. If you wish to express your support further, my beloved child, do not turn away, for the well of this revelation still flows. What is being spoken into your spirit is bigger than numbers, larger than earthly wealth, deeper than a single moment in time. God is not simply handing you riches, He is handing you restoration, identity, and authority. On September 2nd, when the divine transaction manifests, you will not only feel freedom in your hands but in your soul. This blessing is an announcement to every force that ever tried to diminish you. Their time is over, and your appointed hour has come. Beloved, think of the story of Joseph, betrayed by his own, thrown into a pit, forgotten in a prison, yet in a single day, he was lifted to the palace. That is what September 2nd represents for you. Years of waiting, pressing, surviving, enduring, suddenly overtaken by one appointed moment. The $920 million is not just provision, it is the palace moment of your life. It is God's way of saying, I am lifting you higher than your enemies ever imagined, higher than your critics ever believed, higher than your own dreams ever reached. My child, let me tell you why heaven had to fight for this. When wealth of this magnitude is tied to destiny, it shakes more than just one life. It shifts communities, it changes families, it transforms generations. That is why the enemy tried to stop it 3 times, because he knew that once this word reached you, once you began to believe it, once you started preparing for it, nothing could stop it from manifesting, and now it has reached you. The countdown is set, the seal cannot be broken, the scroll hat being unrolled. See it clearly, beloved, see yourself not only with financial freedom but with spiritual elevation, see the atmosphere around you shift, see the burdens you once carried vanish like smoke, tears of laughing again, resting again, dreaming again. This is what God desires for you, not survival, but overflow, not struggle but abundance, not shame but honor. My beloved child, September 2nd will be your Memorial Day, a day you will never forget, a day your family will point back to and say that with the day everything changed. And when people ask, you will not say it was luck or chance or effort alone, you will say it was God. The testimony will break chains for others, ignite faith in the hopeless, and open hearts that once resisted His love. Beloved, I see angels preparing rooms for you, rooms of influence, rooms of expansion, rooms where your voice will matter, rooms where your presence will shift atmospheres. This is not just about wealth, it is about divine positioning. God is not just for you are about to walk into your inheritance. Heaven has already decided it, Michael has already secured it, and the earth is already aligning for it. All that remains is for you to believe, to expect, and to receive. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, I cannot stop here because the Spirit is not finished pouring into you. Every line you are hearing is another stone laid in the foundation of the life you are stepping into. September 2nd is not just a date, it is a doorway. The reason Michael himself has been commanded to carry this message is because what lies behind that doorway is greater than anything your imagination has stretched toward. Beloved, think of your life as a tapestry. For years, you only saw tangled threads, colors that made no sense, patterns that seemed broken. But heaven was always looking from above, seeing the masterpiece in its fullness. On September 2nd, God will flip the tapestry. You will suddenly understand why the pain was necessary, why the delays stretched so long, why the rejections cut so deep. It was Napoleon, it did with perversion. It was weaving the background so that when your blessing came, its colors would shine brighter than the stars. My child, let me whisper this truth into your soul. Abundance is not coming to you. It is coming through you. The $920 million is not only for your comfort, it is for your calling. It is the fuel God is placing in your hands to turn your prayers into projects, your dreams into realities, your visions into legacies. You will feed the hungry, clothe the naked, restore the broken, and lift those who thought they were forgotten. That is why the number is so vast. It is not ordinary wealth, it is kingdom wealth, assigned to a chosen vessel. And beloved, that vessel is you. Do you feel the fire in these words? That is because Michael is standing beside you even now. His sword glows because he has cut through barriers that tried to stop this. His wings stretch wide because he is shielding you from interference. And his voice thunders because he has been ordered to declare no more delay. Beloved, imagine the atmosphere of September 2nd. You will wake up different. The air itself will feel lighter. Your heart will beat with expectancy. And as the day unfolds, the unseen will meet the seen. The heavenly decree will crash into earthly reality. Notifications will arrive, opportunities will appear, and favor will chase you with a speed you cannot outrun. The day will be the birth of a testimony so strong that you will never tell your story the same way again. My beloved child, let your hope expand. You not shrink back in fear, wondering if this is too good to be true. For God specializes in the impossible. He delights in shocking his children with blessings beyond logic. That is why he waited for this hour so that when it comes, you will know with no doubt. This was the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes. To prepare your spirit, prepare your house, lift your hands in expectation because what is sealed in heaven is about to flood into your life. September 2nd is not coming, it is racing toward you. And when it arrives, your life will never return to what it was before. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, stay close to these words, for they are being carved into eternity even as you hear them. This is not a fleet in promise, not a shallow echo, it is the very heartbeat of heaven for you. September 2nd has been written in the calendar of God, and nothing in creation has the power to erase it. Beloved, every time the enemy tried to block this message, it only proved how powerful it is. You understand. If this were ordinary, it would have reached you easily. But because it carries a weight so heavy, heaven had to fight for its release. That is why Michael's sword glows brighter than fire, because he has cut through realms of resistance just so this word could arrive at your ears. And now, child, the responsibility rests with you. Do not dismiss it. Do not doubt it. Do not walk away from it. Receive it as the treasure it is. Picture this clearly on September 2nd. As the dawn breaks, a shift will echo through the spirit realm. What has been sealed for you will touch the earth. You will step into a season where every no turns into yes, where every locked door swings open, where every forgotten promise is fulfilled. This $920 million is the physical sign, but the real miracle is the transformation of your life. You will feel lighter, freer, stronger. You will walk in rooms you once thought were unreachable. You will be trusted with influence you never asked for. You will parry on or where once there was only rejection. My beloved child, let me tell you something deeper. This blessing is not about money alone, it is about your name. For years, your name was spoken in whispers, sometimes in mockery, sometimes in petty. But now your name will carry weight. When it is mentioned, it will be connected to breakthrough, to testimony, to victory. God Himself is writing your name in the book of abundance, and Michael is standing as witness to that inscription. Beloved, I see visions of you becoming a channel, streams flowing out of your hands into places that thirst, children being fed because of you, families finding shelter because of you, lives being lifted because God chose to lift you. That is why the sun is vast. That is why the promise is great. Because your story will no longer just be your own, it will become the evidence that God still moves mountains. Do not fear the size of this blessing. Do not ask why me. Instead, ask why not me. For God has seen your tears, your patience, your heart, and He has decided you are worthy of this overflow. You waited long enough, beloved. You believed long enough. Now the harvest cannot be withheld, so mark September 2nd with faith. Speak it aloud. Wake each day with acceptancy. For the miracle is already running toward you, and when it collides with your life, you will laugh, you will weep, you will kneel, and you will say, "Surely the Lord has done this." If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, let your spirit be still for a moment and listen, because the heavens are not finished speaking. You may think you have heard the fullness already. But God always saves the deepest part of the blessing for last. September 2nd is not only a day written in the records of time, it is a doorway carved into eternity, and you are the one chosen to step through it. Beloved, think of how many nights you have lain awake, wondering if your life would ever change. Think of the mornings where you woke with heaviness in your chest, uncertain if you could endure another day. Think of the moments you hid your tears so others would not see. Heaven saw every one of those moments. Heaven wrote them down, not to remind you of pain, but to store them as evidence. And now the Judge of all has said, "Is time to repay." The $920 million is not a coincidence. It is divine evidence that another you endure was wasted. My child, understand the number is not random. It has been calculated in heaven's courts to carry symbolic weight. 9 represents divine completion. 2 represents covenant, and 0 magnifies what it touches. This wealth is not just a figure, it is a declaration. It declares completion over cycles of lack. It declares covenant between you and your God. It declares multiplication over every seed you have ever sown. September 2nd is the day these declarations will breathe in your life. Do not think of this as money alone. This is elevation. This is a mantle, this is a vorti. When you rise on that day, you will feel the shift in your bones. People will see you differently. Doors that once required knocking will open on their own. Voices that once mocked will fall silent. And you, beloved, will no longer carry the weight of proving yourself. The blessing itself will speak louder than any argument. The beloved child, do you sense the urgency? That is because heaven knows how close you are. The delay is over. The battle in the spirit has been won. Michael's sword is still burning because he has already cut down what opposed you. Angels are stationed around you even now, preparing you, guarding you, aligning you with the exact moment this promise will break forth. Heaven can stop it now, not time, not man, not enemy. The decree is sealed, and when it comes, beloved, it will not trickle, it will flood. It will come like a wave too strong to resist, washing away every trace of the old season. You will stand in awe asking, how did everything change so fast? And the answer will be simple, because God said so. My beloved, prepare your house. Prepare your heart. Prepare your words, for you will soon testify before many. September 2nd will not only be your miracle. It will be your platform. And from that platform light will spread. You will inspire. You will uplift. You will build. And you will leave behind a legacy that shouts louder than wealth ever could. God is faithful. To hold on. Believe. Nastet. Because the dawn is almost here. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, the Spirit urges me to continue. For the river of this message is still overflowing, and your soul has not yet tasted the fullness of what is being poured. September 2nd is not just a promise. It is a divine announcement to the world that you are entering a season where nothing will look the same. The release of $920 million into your life is the earthly reflection of a heavenly decision that has already been stamped, signed, and sealed in the courts of eternity. Beloved, I want you to understand why this is so significant. For years, unseen hands tried to tamper with your destiny. They tried to delay you, to confuse you, to make you doubt what was spoken over your life. They tried to keep you hidden while others ran ahead. But the Lord, in His mercy, allowed the delay, not because you were forgotten, but because your blessing had to be prepared in fullness. God does not send half romax. He does not release unfinished miracles. And now that the hour has come, He is giving you not a portion, but the whole. My beloved child, let me show you what will follow. The moment this release touches your life, chains that have clung to your bloodline will break instantly. Poverty that traveled through generations will die with you. Fear that crept into your nights will vanish at dawn. The enemy thought to bury you under cycles of lack. But God has decided to make you the one who breaks the cycle forever. That is why the amount is so great. It is not ordinary, it is generational. It is not temporary, it is eternal. Can you feel it? Even now, as you listen, your spirit begins to rise. That is because Archangel Michael is speaking your name in heaven's register. He is circling your life with his sword of light, declaring, "This one is chosen. This one is Mark. This one is untouchable." That is why the blessing could not be stopped, though it was resisted 3 times. Beloved, Michael has already cut through the resistance. He has already secured your portion. My child, September 2nd, will be like no other day. It will not pass as quietly as the days before. It will be remembered in your story, in your family, in your lineage, as the day God shifted everything. A day's survival turned into overflow. The day your account became a testimony. The day your name was clothed in honor. And beloved, remember this: God is not only releasing wealth, He is releasing peace. For what use is money if your heart is restless? He is giving you rest where you once wrestled. He is giving you calm where you once cried. He is giving you joy where you once felt forgotten. You will not only walk in abundance, you will walk in freedom. So rise, beloved child. Straighten your shoulders, the beak with expectation. For what God has written cannot be erased, what God has signed cannot be revoked, and what God has released cannot be delayed again. September 2nd is fixed. The scroll is unrolled. The blessing is yours. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, I must take you even deeper, for the fullness of this revelation is not yet complete. You stand on the edge of a season that will rewrite your destiny, and heaven refuses to let you miss the magnitude of what is unfolding. September 2nd has been whispered in the chambers of eternity. And now it thunders into your life as a decree that cannot be reversed. Beloved, pause and remember how often you felt as though the heavens were silent. How many times did you look around and see others advancing while you stood still? How many times did you wonder if your prayers were only echoing back to you? Hear this now. Every silence was preparation. Every delay was timing. Every tear was currency in the courts of heaven. None of it was wasted. None of it or gone. The moment you thought you were overlooked was the very moment angels were working behind the scenes, arranging what would one day crash into your life with overwhelming glory. A day is September 2nd. My child. The $920 million is not merely money, it is a prophetic signpost. It is God's way of saying to you, I saw you when no one else did. I remembered you when they forgot. I honored you when they mocked. And now I raise you when they least expect it. The number itself carries a divine rhythm: 9 for completion, 2 for covenant, zeros for multiplication. It is not coincidence, it is code. A heavenly code that unlocks not just provision but transformation. Beloved, imagine the sound of chains breaking. Imagine burdens sliding off your shoulders. Imagine the atmosphere around you becoming so light that you finally breathe without heaviness. This is what is coming with the release. You will walk differently. You will speak differently. You will think differently. You will no longer carry the weight of surviving. You will carry the mantle of thriving. And hear this. When September 2nd arrives, the testimony will not stay hidden. People will see. People will notice. People will ask, how did everything change so quickly? And you will answer with only one name: God. That name will become the banner over your life. The explanation for every door that opens, every opportunity that finds you, every miracle that surrounds you. My beloved child, Michael is not only delivering this message, he is guarding it. Even now, he stands with his sword gone, ensuring that no hand can steal what heaven has decreed. 3 times the message was resisted, and 3 times it broke through, because what carries your name cannot belong to another. What was written for you cannot be erased. What was assigned to you cannot be diverted. So prepare yourself, prepare your household. Prepare your heart. September 2nd is not only a date, it is a rebirth. When the sun rises that morning, you will not rise the same. You will rise as the evidence of God's faithfulness, the living proof that waiting is never in vain. Beloved, do not shrink back in disbelief. Do not say, "It is too much." For your Father is not a God of scraps, He is a God of abundance. And this abundance will not crush you, it will crown you. If you wish to express your support further, you have the option to give super thanks, with contributions of up to $20. My beloved child, I am commanded to continue because the well of this blessing is still overflowing. What is written for you is so vast, so extraordinary, that even words seem small to carry it. But still, heaven presses me to pour it into your heart until you are saturated with expectation. September 2nd is not just a point on the calendar, it is the collision of eternity with your present moment. It is the hour when heaven's decree steps into your reality, and nothing can turn it back. Beloved, I want you to close your eyes and imagine the moment. A morning light will feel different. The air around you will carry a softness as though angels themselves are brushing past. Your spirit will sense it even before your eyes see it, that something has shifted, something unstoppable, something irreversible. Notifications, opportunities, alignments, people you never thought you would meet, all of these will begin to cluster around you like magnets because heaven has already written your name in light. My child, this is why the battle was so fierce, this is why the enemy tried to block it 3 times. In you that when you received this word, your spirit would ignite, and faith would pull what is already released in heaven down into the earth. That is why Michael was sent not just to deliver but to protect. His sword is not symbolic, it is active. He has already cut through the resistance. He has already sealed the vault that holds your blessing. He has already marked your life as untouchable. Beloved, understand the layers of this blessing. The $920 million is the surface, the visible proof. But beneath it lies restoration of years lost, honor for the shame you endured, peace for the sleepless nights, strength for the days you nearly gave up. I did not give partially, gives fully. And when He opens His hand, He fills not only your needs but your dreams, not only your bank but your soul. Think of it. The same people who overlooked you will marvel. The same ones who dismissed you will whisper in awe. The same voices that doubted you will be silenced by the weight of what God places upon you. And yet, child, your heart will not grow proud. Instead, it will shine brighter with humility, for you will know this truth: it was never by your strength. It was always by His mercy. Beloved, hear me. September 2nd is the day heaven flips the page of your story. Everything before it will feel like a prologue, preparation, rehearsal. Everything after it will feel like destiny, purpose, fulfillment. You will look back and weep, not with sorrow, but with gratitude, saying, "Now I understand why I had to wait. Now I see why God took His time. Because this is worth every tear, every night, every silence." My beloved child, receive this not with fear but with joy. For God delights in blessing His children. He delights in watching your face light up when the miracle arrives. He delights in proving to you, once and for all, that He is not distant, not deaf, not silent. He is faithful. If you wish to express your support further,